Hey folks, so the Atlas Titan review's done. I've got a bunch of comments to go through, but I don't really want to talk about that directly. I want to talk about like a raced out gun and the experience of that versus a service pistol like this Glock. Now you guys know I'm a big fan of the Glock 47. I love shooting it. I love training with it. It's just lovely. Uh, when I'm shooting this gun, I'm focused on being my best in terms of technical precision. Like that's what gets me the best scores with this gun. All right. I mean, being exactly right when I, hit the grip exactly, get the right tension set. The trigger on this is modified to drop in Apex shoe. All right. It's still a service pistol. It's not a light trigger. It's still like 4 pounds the way that I have it set up. But I want to overcome that 4 pound resistance, press the trigger straight back, send the bullet out straight. You get what I'm saying. When I'm shooting this, again, my focus is on doing things the right way. It's not necessarily on being as fast as possible, although, of course, I want to be fast. I want to be efficient, all of that. Now, with a race gun like this, the experience is the same, but different, right? When I'm shooting this gun, I want to shoot it, the highest scores I possibly can. But because of the nature of the gun, it changes where I put my focus. Now, instead of on being technically correct, it's kind of like I'm leaning on the skills I already have and trying to be as early as possible. Like the gun's coming from the holster. As soon as I register that red in the middle of the target, I'm on the trigger. I'm trying to shoot follow-on shots as fast as I possibly can, like to take advantage of how fast and direct this gun returns. Now, the way that the race gun's set up here, so like one big game changer for me is this 45-degree safety. The normal, thumb safety type of pistol, I have to be a little bit conscious, make sure that I hit that thing, push it down, deactivate it. With this 45-degree big paddle safety from Atlas, well, hitting this thing is not really work anymore. I don't really have to think about it. I mean, I don't have to think about it at all. The whole gun is a little bit that way. Like when the slide reciprocates, the sight returns, and it's like it returns before I'm ready to fire, right? I see the sight back, and I have to discipline myself to confirm, like, oh, it actually went exactly back to where I wanted. Okay, now pull the trigger. When I do pull the trigger, it's 1.5, 1 3/4 pounds. Not much resistance. It's fair to say the trigger's not in my way at all. The grip, it's not modified with any grip tape or anything. It came from the factory correct, texture that's easy to hang on to but doesn't punish me. It's got a big mag well, big opening, easy to reload. A good way to articulate it is this gun is out of my way as much as possible. Like there's nothing that it's doing, like there's no like roadblocks when I'm using it, nothing that slows me down or that I have to be conscious of. I just train with it really, really aggressively. Do I get better scores with the Atlas? Yeah, I do. A little bit. I mean, it's not as dramatic as you might think I'm suggesting. But, the hits are there. I mean, it's just a faster experience. So you can see like when I'm training with each one of these type of things, a service pistol versus like a race pistol, I'm doing the same thing, doing the same drills fundamentally. Everything is the same, except the race gun's going to get faster times at longer distances. And again, my focal point as a shooter changes to being really early, being right on the edge, and I don't have to worry as much about my technical skill because the gun is getting out of my way as much as a gun can. All right. Now, I'm saying all this because we're going to slide into the comments on the Atlas Titan review, and this is a lot of kind of the discussion. It's centered around money, where it's like, oh, this gun's really expensive, and I mean, yeah, of course, the gun's crazy money, but it's also like a proper race gun in the sense of it's well built, it's durable, it's got the longevity. It is still a race gun. It's still like you have to clean it and take care of it and all of that type of stuff that I find a little bit annoying, but it's a race gun that gets out of my way. So that's kind of how I look at it. So if it comes down to a discussion on like money, like, oh, well, this gun costs too much, it's like, yeah, it's a lot more money, but it's a different experience. And to me, it's like, all right, I'm taking this and I'm just going to lay down the most hardcore scores I can with the skills I have. And again, the gun's getting out of my way to the point that it makes it easier to do that. Now, I'm not saying it's an easy gun to shoot really well, because shooting it really well means shooting it close to like its ceiling, like close to what it can do. So the closer you get to the ceiling, obviously it gets exponentially harder. The closer and closer you get to that ceiling. Again, it's a different experience than a service pistol. All right. So now let's slide into the comments. We'll start talking about money, that kind of thing. All right. The same people getting butthurt over the cost, this is the top comment, by the way, are likely the same people with a $100,000 four-wheel drive truck that has never seen off-road nor hauls anything. Maybe, right? The follow on there is like, or they are broke and drive a 2002 Civic. Nothing wrong with Civics, though. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that have a lot of money that also are offended by the cost of expensive pistols. All right. It's not just that they don't have the money. Like, people can, I think, can always like find a way and get them to shit out money for something they really want. It's just they don't view it as worth it. They don't like it, that kind of thing. All right. Another comment. Atlas definitely seems like the high-end 2011 that actually gets used, while the others seem essentially like Safe Queens. Now, I can say, like, there's a lot of validity to that comment, a lot. So, for example, like the last class I did, not today, but a couple days ago, there was a guy in there, like, good shooter, like a guy training all the time. It's clearly his hobby. M class, I think, just made M. He's shooting an Atlas, Again, it's not that he has a ton of money. He has one Atlas. The Magwell was beat to fuck. Not like this one. Like, all of his was chewed up. You can see, like, homeboys practicing reloads all the time. There wasn't just a couple of little issues on his finish. I mean, the gun was very clearly really, really used. In an open enrollment type of class, I will frequently see Atlases that are like that. Yes, it is a high-end 2011. It's an expensive gun, but I see them getting used in courses. They're very popular gun for USPSA, PCSL. And again, it's like, you can see why. It's not crazy money for a high-end 2011. They're designed to really get used. There's, support from them, all that kind of stuff. I can verify, like, yes, I see Atlases get used a lot. This is not to say that there's not Atlas Safe Queens. I'm sure there are. It's just, of the ones I see, like, I see these hoes getting used all the time. People ask about other brands frequently, whether or not you think they're high end or low, whatever. That doesn't matter. But we'll see guys ask, like, oh, what about Nighthawk? What about, oh shit, what's another one? I don't even, who knows? Like, what about Nighthawk? Like, I don't see those very much, right? A lot of people buy Nighthawks, but it's like, I just don't see them frequently getting the hard use type of thing. It's just, for whatever reason, people aren't gravitating to that gun for that use. Okay, let's keep reading. In the before times, you'd see tons of SVs, Infinities, and Limcats at matches. Yeah, that's true. That was back when Open was the no expenses spared uber enthusiast division. Now you can't walk into a gun store without tripping over some cheap import 2011 with a stupid barrel port or some gimmick comp in 9 minor. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just a fact. There's the race divisions, like Limited and Open, have gotten there's just a lot less interest in those, because if you take that same 2011 that you were chambering in 38 Super Comp and it fucking breaks all the time and you have to load the ammo for it, well, it's just a far more pleasant experience to shoot it in 9mm, like, for a variety of reasons. It's logistically easier, right? It's more pleasant when you're actually shooting it all. It's just better. And that's why you're seeing the change. All right. The expensive, hand-tuned, craftsman-made product equals senseless consuming crowd is out in full force. Yeah, there's some guys in the comments bitching like, hey, this is consumerism, this is bad. Okay. An Atlas is not a Watchtower or some other Dassault import wrapped in a waste of money dressing. It's expensive, not overpriced. It is what it is. It's okay if you don't understand it. It's okay if you don't get wine pairings or a tasting menu. It's okay if you don't get flying through general aviation. It's okay if you don't get having for-fee financial management. There's no moral high ground in refusing to pay for quality and convenience if one can afford it. That's literally the entire basis of economies across the entire planet for all of post-nomadic history. Like, okay, can add a little bit to that. Like, is this gun overpriced? I mean, to be honest, not really for what it is. Because it's a 2011 and you want it to work, that demands that the parts need to be manufactured with a lot of precision and hand fitted to each other, really nice finish. It needs to be built to the customer spec. Like, $6 grand for a pistol like that, that is a shit ton of money. Don't get me wrong. But as far as the work that goes into building a pistol like that, that's not like, to me, that's not like crazy. Like I'm not upset about that. There's custom built guns out there for any number that you care to quote. You can spend 10, 12 grand on a custom gun. Yeah, you can if you want. Like this is not a cheap gun, but again, for what you're getting, it's not crazy if you look at what it is. All right. I'd fight the urge to buy if I could even remotely come close to affording one. Kudos to those who can. I'll stay in my lane for the foreseeable future. Like, okay, yeah, I mean, again, like I went a long time in my shooting career without a gun like this, and the only thing that this gun brings to the table for me, like I don't care too much about the aesthetic of it. It's not like I hang it up on the wall and I have you look at my Atlas, bros. Like I'm not doing that. I'm getting that other experience, the race gun type of experience, where again, the gun is out of my way as much as possible. I'm not fighting the equipment. As a matter of fact, the equipment is like helping me, and then I can do the race thing, like lay down the best scores I can. It's a little bit different experience. Right. I never really got why people complain about the price of a gun. Competition shooting is an expensive sport. We almost spend Atlas money on ammo this year. Now add in holsters, belts, mag carriers, range fees, memberships, competition fees, etc. Now I want to get better, so we want to do a couple classes. Though all this adds the ka-ching sound effect after every item for full effect. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's true, and that's why you'll see guys that don't have a lot of money running a gun like an Atlas in like USPSA matches. Like when I was in that place in my life, like early mid 20s, not much money. I could do like a $4,000 gun. I could have had that, but I was spending, it's like $1,000 every major match you go to, plus you need ammo, you need range access, and burning through targets for practice, blah, 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 blah. It's just like, but if I'd really wanted to shoot that division, like I could have made it happen. It's kind of like that, like the really hardcore guys that are choosing between like food and ammo because they're just so into the shooting. It's like they'll get one of those if they really want it. But you can do the thing, you can do the sport without that gun. So a lot of them don't have it. All right. I went to a local gun shop's staccato day and it was super fun. Good. I love the staccato, but for north of 2K, I'm not even remotely a good enough shooter for that kind of dough. And just as an aside, before I continue reading the comments, that's kind of like if you think about that, it's like, what does that mean? Like I'm not a good enough shooter for that gun? Well, I mean, you could get the gun if you want it, and you could learn to be a good shooter, and maybe the gun would give you some motivation if that's really what you want to do. All right, I can hit a 24 by 24 steel target at 100 yards with basically any pistol that isn't a micro compact, 7 out of 10 times. Pretty good for foul shooting, so I think pretty good for range day. Okay. Keep in mind that I have like 12 hobbies, shooting being one of them. I'm asking the Stagger crowd a serious question. Time travel me back to 2020 when all I'd ever owned was Glock 17s and a VP9. I was happy, almost content with my life. Now I have 27 pistols. Seriously. 3 safes, a bunch of rifle type things, 6.5 Creed, blah, blah, blah. And I don't really feel like I'm happier than I was in 2015. What's my solution when I have 10K and they want a be all and end all pistol that isn't the size of a papaya? Well, I don't know. I mean, you're not going to be any more satisfied because probably like the way that you're engaging with the shooting hobby, it's not really changed, right? Like buying, like if you go and do the same stuff, like getting a different gun isn't that exciting usually unless the gun is extremely different to what you already have. I mean, I don't know what gun you should get. All right. Here's the thing. I own upwards of 100 fishing rods. I've built maybe 10 or so Gucci Glocks, all around 2,000 to 2,500 each. That's kind of weird. When I bought an Athena as my first 2011, it was just like, oh, now I see, which then led to an immediate regret that I could have three more of this instead of 10 of those. Yeah, I mean, it's not how many guns you have. It's like, well, which one are you shooting at that point and what are you doing with it? That's going to drive your experience, I think. Next comment, there must be a lot of pores in the gun world. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just like on the internet, a lot of people are extremely price driven, like all their decision making or like what their concept of like what is good or bad or whatever. Um, I don't see as much of that as far as like in like class settings or at ranges. It's kind of like people just get the tools they want and then they go work on doing the thing. Solid feedback. I ordered up a Hayes last year. I don't think I'll have any regrets, but I'm intrigued by an Atlas having the replaceable grip panels. Yeah, the Hayes they're nicely built guns, of course. I've seen those. The replaceable grip panels on the Atlas are very interesting. I don't use them for that. Like I'm satisfied with the grip panel as is, but tons of dudes pull out the center panel here and replace it with something else that's provided by Atlas. It's another thing that they have to fit the gun to you. It's a nice thing. I like it. Some 2011s are designed to be duty guns, like the Atlas Aries. So, in regards to diminishing returns at the Atlas price point, I can see why people will go with a Staccato P, 226 X5 Legion, OA Defense, or even a Voodoo Priest for significantly less money. You could even see buying a Prodigy and tricking it out for way less to get similar performance. All right, now here's where I'm going to say something you don't like, or probably won't like. Like my Staccato P is not the same experience as this. Like, it's just not. The gun doesn't reciprocate the same way. I feel like I'm waiting on it to come back. It's a little bit of a pushy impulse. The trigger's not even the same. And the safety I have to be very cognizant of. The texture on the grip. Again, it's like it's a 2011, but it's not like this where it's raced out, where again, I feel like the equipment is not in my way at all. It's not that it does everything for me, it's just not in my way. All right. All right. Test of a good steakhouse is the Caesar salad. Yeah, that is a good test because there's a lot of ways to make a Caesar, right? And you want it to be like the classic type of way. Yes, I agree with that. They're the most insanely well put together guns. They cost a lot, but so do all nice things. Yeah, I agree with that. I told someone if you can afford an XC, you can probably afford an Atlas. And if you can't, then maybe you can't afford either. Help me out on this one, guys. Yeah, they're very close in terms of price. The XC is like to me, it's a range toy. Like it's a fun gun. Just because of the comp on it, it wouldn't be the same as far as like competition divisions. And again, it's not that race gun thing. It's just not. It's cool. It's cool to shoot. Not a race gun. Um, the guys who get upset at guys who buy nice guns must live miserable lives. Do you get mad every time you see someone in a nice car? Should have bought a Civic. It gets around just as good. Bought an Omega. My Casio tells the time just the same. Boat, psh, waste of money. I can enjoy the water from the shore. It really does make dudes mad that some people can spend money on hobbies without sending their family to the poorhouse. By the way, I bet the average 2011 owner shoots way more than the average Joe gun owner who shoots half a case per year through whatever striker gun he owns. Um, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Like I said, I can definitely say that I just see a very high like percentage of Atlas guns in open enrollment classes and at matches at that type of application. They are a hard use range gun, and you do see people use them in that way. Other guns like that, maybe not as much, right? But at the same time, I don't think many people are buying this to just put it on the wall because it doesn't really look extra or super cool. Like it looks nice, but it's not like, one of the really ornate or like really, really interesting type of guns that you could get if you were getting a gun to look at. All right, here's it. There are aspirational pours and sour grapes pours. Lots of sour grapes pours involved in the gun hobby. Low monetary barrier to entry. Everyone thinks they're an expert. Everyone thinks their opinions are valid. Everyone is too macho to enjoy some finery. See the same comments on fountain pen and watch content. Who the fuck you consume fountain pen content, bro? That's weird. Surprisingly, you don't see a lot of folks on the other side of the coin saying I can comfortably afford a Speedmaster and custom 1911 every year, but I wish I bought worse stuff that was churned out in mass. Um, no, you don't see a lot of people say that, do you? You will. I will say this, like, um, you do appreciate like the simplicity, the reliability of a Glock the more you play with the expensive stuff. I will say that. You can appreciate it for what it is because it's very nice. Atlas will maintain your pistols for a pretty fair price. I think around 300. Yeah, I heard about that. You can spend you give them $300 to send it into them. They'll like rip it all apart, look at it, clean it up, and send it back to you. That to me is reasonable. And it's not so much that I'm not capable of like taking out my own extractor and cleaning the gun. It would just be nice to have a a real expert look at it. All right, and I don't think 300 is crazy for that. They are the most insanely well put together guns. Yes, they cost a lot, but so do all nice things. That trigger to me is the equivalent of heroin. The return to zero is nuts. Yeah, I mean, a couple things. Like the return to zero is awesome. It's great. And the trigger, as far as the race trigger, what I like about the Atlas products is it's a light race trigger that does not sketch me out. And what I mean is I have clear take up. There's a wall here. I can feel some resistance. I press through, then the fucking thing breaks. I can feel what's going on with it. It is a good feel to a trigger. And again, I'm not a trigger snob, but I can appreciate, what that is. Um, it's like it's got I can feel what's happening with it, and it has good properties for shooty fast. That to me is like a very nice race trigger. It really is. All right, we follow up to that. Justify my purchase. Justify my purchase. Justify my purchase. I love consuming. I'm going to consume. I am boomer. Hear me consume. Yeah, I mean this to me like is not like the way that I'm using it is not like conspicuous consumption or just consumerism. Like you're buying this to use it for the thing, right? If you were buying a car, like obviously there's a big difference between you buy like a track car, take it to the track and beat the fuck out of it versus I guess what's the boomer thing? You buy a Corvette, you put it in your garage, you take it around the block on Sunday and then you wax it. Like those are very different things. Like one of them is like something I'd be interested in, and the other one does not sound like that much fun to me. Irrespective of if you think it's like stupid to spend money that way. It's just like I don't really want that experience. Like I'm not here to look at it. I want to like drive it fast and beat the hell out of it. That's more fun. All right. Ben's measure of a good steakhouse is creme brulee. Dude probably puts ketchup on a steak with a comment like that. No, I mean I think creme brulee is it's like the Caesar salad. And it's like there's a lot of ways they'll send it out, but there's like if I go to a nice place and I order creme brulee, I want it to be obviously nice cream. I think it's technically custard, but I want that cream to be really nice. I want them to caramelize it with the torch right before they bring it out. So it should have a temperature differential, a little bit warm on top. It should be like cool on the inside. And I want the fruit garnished to look nice. See what I mean? I don't want them just like caramelize it in the morning, wrap it up in plastic wrap, and then when I order it at night, you unwrap it and you hand it to me, and you left the fruit on there all day as well. Just like I'll be like, well, this doesn't taste the same. It's not the same experience as when they do it nice and do it properly. And that's why I like a very simple test, like creme brulee. Caesar salad was a good one. Like maybe a classic cocktail. Like, let's see how you make a Negroni. Are you going to just make it properly? Or are you going to make it fucked up? Right? That's what I mean. Like it's not about doing it more. A lot of Americans, their concept of luxury is like more. It's like supersize it. Well, is it a bigger car? Well, then it's a nicer car. Does it have more features? Well, then it's nicer. Whereas like a different concept would be you're doing the same thing. It's just nicer. It's better. It's on point. It's exactly what it's meant to be, and it's not extra, right? That it again, it's a different way of looking at it. All right, I've been told Infinity is the top dog in 2011s. Does Ben have any experience with Infinity? Like I've shot their guns. I wouldn't be interested just because their guns are like more extra than the Titan stuff. And to me, like I mean, and I'm talking aesthetically. So it's like I wouldn't give that many shits about that gun. Not that it's bad, it's just not for me. All right, do 2011 owners have $6,000 worth of talent? I don't know, probably not. Hmm. Do you have any parts break? No. So in more than 10,000 rounds, Titan's been good. It's not breaking. Nothing bad has happened. It's been fine. It's been fine. Morton's Steakhouse makes some damn good creme brulee. Definitely overpriced dinner items though. Well, yeah, Morton's is going to be nice, and yeah, it's going to be expensive, right? I mean, what is it like? You get a side of broccoli at a place like that, it's like, oh, $25. Like, I understand broccoli doesn't cost $25, but if you order from them, like, again, it should be cooked perfectly. It should be right. It's not about making it more or making it better. What do you clean your and lube your Atlas with? Rem oil. I know what a fan of Rem oil you are. Yeah, I do. Rem oil for the motherfucking win. It's great. I don't think there's a problem with Rem oil. I absolutely use Rem oil on my Atlas. Um, what recoil spring rate are you running on your XC? I think it's a 10 pound. Okay, it's interesting and it shoots straight, but frankly speaking, what's your price to shill for SIG? That's fair. I want half of whatever GBRS is getting. And I don't, it's not that I want half that amount. I want them to send GBRS half money, half the money, and then send the other half of their money to me. That's what I want. And I would do it. Um, Dorks, you're all dorks. If I can't drop it without killing me or someone else, I don't want one, i.e. 2011s. The facts that cops run 2011s or SIGs blows my mind. Yeah, in fairness, it's not drop safe, that gun. What about Chambers Custom? How does it compare? Don't know. It's hilarious that people get butt hurt over the price of their purchases. If you can only afford a $300 pawn shop special, get good with it. If you have to buy skill, ego, statutes, that's on you. If you like it and can afford it, go for it. Have fun. Okay, yeah, that's fine. One guy posts consume product. Well, yeah, I'm not trying to sell you on an Atlas pistol. I don't give a shit if you guys buy one. I don't think Atlas gives a shit. They have like a year and a half backlog. It's just like maybe it's not for you, probably not for you, but if it is for you, maybe you want to know that. The funniest comments in the comment section of expensive pistol videos are always the one that start with, I'll stick with my insert gun here and buy ammo and training. Yeah, okay. It's like a flex to these people. Meanwhile, the people that actually have the money to buy the expensive gun and also bought the ammo and training are like, okay, cool, good for you, buddy. What the fuck was your point? I honestly started buying Atlas guns out of curiosity and because I had the funds. Like Ben, I'm actually surprised how little wear shows up on the gun when cleaning it, especially on the full DLC models. Their coating process and polishing is very impressive. And the only part that tells the story of how much you use your gun is the aluminum grip because it's one aluminum and two black anodized. So you see the wear and bumps and nicks and that type of stuff from mag changes. Yeah, that's true. I also appreciate the nerdiness they put into the Perfect Zero thing. So I don't reload, so I just shoot what they recommend. It takes the experimenting with springs for me, and that's really nice. Yeah, I don't care about fucking around with the setup either. I just like set it up right and I'll shoot it. That's what matters to me. Um, they aren't interesting or special, just another semi-custom 2011, but for some reason I want more of their guns. I have the Nyx Athena, Ares EOS, and now I want the Titan Apollo and Artemis. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there you go. Like that's fine. I think they're nice for what they are. If you don't need that XC anymore, I'll take it. I do need it. I need it for inner happiness. Why do these people think an Atlas is more durable than an HK USP? 100,000 rounds, not at all. They're great guns, but the 2011 platform isn't known for durability at all. You get performance for the money, not durability. Yeah, I mean, this is not like a Glock where you're going to shoot it 100,000 rounds and not change anything. Like, I can't imagine not needing a new extractor at least once, probably twice in that time, including all the springs that could go bad. Maybe the firing pin will break. Probably will break. I mean, honestly, probably will break in 100,000 rounds, I would think. Yeah, it's not going to shoot 100,000 rounds without you doing parts change type maintenance. I don't think. Like, I would be surprised if that happened. It's basically the Glock of the 2011 world. Nothing fancy, but just works and does what it's supposed to do, is one comment. Well, I don't know about that. Like it's a very nice 2011, but it's not doing anything beyond 2011 stuff. Anyway, interesting discussion, and I think it goes to like like the way you think about it. It's like, well, what are you trying to get out of this thing? What are you trying to do? If you're trying to like buy a score, I mean, I think buying a score by buying a new gun is like it's a little bit kind of missing the point. The experience you can have with like a race gun, like I said, in the like the nuanced way, it's a different training experience than with a service pistol. Maybe you find that fun. If you want to buy something to look at it, probably you don't want an Atlas, but maybe you do. I don't know. I don't know. It's a good discussion. Interesting to talk about it sometimes. If you have other questions or comments, put them down below.